Between the terrible casting and the trailers looking just as unfunny as the last game was, the Borderlands movie looks like it's going to be a complete flop, and the Rotten Tomatoes critics' reviews are not good. It was sitting at a 0% this morning. A 0. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this video. So I made this tweet earlier when I said, I'm not surprised. I've been covering this a little bit. It just doesn't look good. And I hate to say it because I do really like Cate Blanchett a lot. But let's just be real. She's not Lilith. And she's a terrible casting for Lilith. So, hey, I hope she got her bag. I hope it was good. But yes, 0%. Even one of the comments here was like, well, I guess I won't be watching anything with Cate Blanchett in it because he otherwise would have. But there are movies that look that bad, and this is one of them. Now it's sitting at a 4% with 28 reviews. Oh, Grace Randolph. Of course Grace Randolph gets a good review. Of course. So that... Now I know. This just solidified everything I thought. This is going to be abysmal. I think a Grace Randolph positive review is worse for the movie than a negative review would be. Let's see what she had to say about it. Oh, this is her video review. I ain't watching no video. But it looks like here it says... She says, I've never played the games, but I got a kick out of Blanchett starring in a movie like this and doing a great job. I do wish the script had been adjusted a bit better to accommodate her age. Blanchett fans will enjoy this. Not sure about any time else. It's not accommodating her age because Lilith is a lot younger than her. The character she's playing is supposed to be a lot younger than her. Granted, I mean, she's reasonably older in Borderlands 3, but even then, I think she's just like late 30s. Let's see. How old is Lilith in Borderlands 3? Oh, she's only 34 in Borderlands 3. All right. So, in Borderlands 2, she was 27. In Borderlands 1, she's like 22. So it just doesn't make sense. And you know what? It's one thing to say, oh, okay, there's one character they did this to. But that's not the case. They've got a whole cast of old ladies on this right now. I mean, Mad Moxie was really the only mature one of nearing the ages of these women in their 50s and 60s. Would be Mad Moxie, but in this case, no, they've just, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know why they couldn't get an actresses that are age appropriate for their characters, but alas. So anyway, we have Edgar here who says Borderlands is what an out-of-touch executive thinks the cool kids would find appealing. One obnoxious quip after another that feels outdated as soon as they're uttered. I mean, this does sound very Borderlands humor. Granted, I will say I really liked the first and second Borderlands. It's been a very long time since I've played them though, so I don't know if that humor keeps up. I do know that after playing some Borderlands 3, I was checked out. Borderlands 3 got pretty woke. They had a they-them character in it even. And the humor was just one dick joke after another, after another, after another, after another. And I personally just don't think dick jokes are funny. So it's like, is that all they know? Is that it? It was just very obnoxious and not funny at all to me. Now, I remember getting some laughs out of the first Borderlands especially, and being like, hey, it was a different type of humor than I was used to seeing in a lot of things. But I don't know, maybe that wasn't as funny either, and I'm just remembering it. Nostalgia is being good to me, but I don't know. I just think that the first two Borderlands games, like, I have great memories with those games. They were good. And Borderlands 3, I just couldn't do it. Could not handle it. All right, so Shaquille says it all just looks like celebrities participating in a Borderlands 3 themed escape room instead of an actual movie. That sounds awful. Oh dear. Jake says, in an age of CGI slop, Borderlands gets points for crafting a vibrant post-apocalypse setting. It's just a shame it all adds up to Guardians of the Galaxy with worse jokes. Oof. That's rough. Tonally messy, narratively janky, and slathered with pasted over a narration that reeks of creative indecision. The film is an embarrassing affair for even the most hardcore of gamers. Has Roth botched an attempt to make a multiplex hit from an edgy nugget of intellectual property? Almost certainly yes, but there are faint, stubborn signs of something more interesting. Blanchett's charisma, unlikable, and occasional Larry oomph. I love Cate Blanchett. I think she probably, given what, I mean, who knows? Maybe she just was written terrible on this or whatever, but I do really like Cate Blanchett. My biggest issue here was she's just not, she's too old for the role. That's it. Like, I think a little, if it were just like 10 years difference or something, whatever, but this is a drastic age difference. And it just doesn't work. It checks you out of the experience. But do I think Cate Blanchett's a great actress and do I love her work? Yes, but unfortunately, not even she could carry this given everything. Let me see if I think that Grace Randolph is the only, yes, she is the only positive tomato here, and that's why it's at 4% instead of the 0 that otherwise would have been. Now, I will say, usually I don't agree with critics, so I'm like, I thought this was going to be awful, but it's like, wait a minute, if all the critics are hating it, is there something redeeming about it that I didn't catch in the trailers? I don't know. So I'm curious to see what people I trust think of it. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't want to be the one to have to watch it. I don't want to have to go out of my way and go to a movie theater to watch something that looks terrible just for the off chance that, hey, maybe it's a surprisingly decent, given that the critics hate it. I'm just going to wait for a friend or someone I trust to give it a watch. But I'm just going to say it's probably going to be bad. Here's the thing, that when I think of video game movies and something like Borderlands, which, man, they could have had something great with Borderlands. I think most people would prefer, especially with Borderlands, a CGI movie that as opposed to a live action. But even if you're gonna do a live action, make it come to life as like the game was portrayed, you know? And another thing that is overrated is too many Hollywood big names being tied to certain things when they don't really fit. That's a huge issue. You know, if it works and okay, it helps to have a big name actor tied to it, but otherwise, no. And I don't know. I don't think you need any really big name actors at all for something like this, especially when you got like Jack Black as Claptrap. I would rather have the original voice actor as Claptrap. But yeah, this is, I feel like the Dr. Tannis casting is even worse than the Lilith casting. But the fact that they do this twice, okay, we've got 2 age swaps. That's what's egregious with this, okay? Dr. Tannis is supposed to be like, I don't know, Borderlands 3, she's supposed to be like 40 or not 65. I don't know. I don't remember how old she was, but by the time of Borderlands 3, she would have been late 30s, early 40s or something like that. Lilith being 34, this just isn't working. So anyway, there you have it for this video. Hollywood, surprise, surprise, delivers another flop, trying to appease the gaming crowd when they don't know what they're doing. And honestly, even the gaming industry doesn't know what it's doing right now, hiring a bunch of activists and woke ideologues instead of people who are passionate about video games and who made video games great 10, 20, 30 years before. But this is where we're at. Anyway, there you have it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.